Hey gang, just a quick heads up. This is another video that took a while to get posted. As I noted in the last video, I've been having kind of a crisis of faith lately. I'm still not getting a lot of views, and I've been wondering, is this YouTube thing really worth the time and the effort that it takes? And so the upshot is that because this video took a while to get posted, because I sat on it for a while, these comic books that you are about to see have already come and gone on eBay. They've already been sold. So what I'm going to do, much like the last video, I will pop up as a graphic on the screen what I ended up grading the book at and what it actually sold for. So maybe that'll add a little bit of extra interest for you, as you're looking at the book and I'm talking about it. Go ahead and, fix in your mind what you think that book might have sold for, and I'll let you know the price it actually was realized. So anyway, that's kind of the public service announcement there. On with the video. Hey there, boys and girls. Time for another unboxing video. And as always, I have no idea what is in this box I'm about to crack into. I have a little bit of a hope, though. I'm kind of excited, though, because, well, as you can see, these are some dirty, ugly, snoochy labooch bags. And usually, dirty, ugly, snoochy labooch bags, that tends to mean older books, maybe some on-ball items. So let's get ready to crack into this box and see what we find. Stick around, we're going to have some fun. Hey there, Bobby. Welcome to Shanghai. My name is Duke, and this is another unboxing video. And so right up front, as those of you who have seen these videos before, you know this, but let me just review that these are not my own books. I am working on this box for my job. The place that I work at buys and sells books online. I am the grader for the books that we sell on eBay as what we call raw singles. That means not encapsulated or slabbed in plastic by well, I don't want to say a professional grading company because I'm a professional grader, but you know what I mean. Not done by CGC or one of the other competitors to that preeminent grading company. So all of these books that we're going to look at will end up being auctioned on eBay under the username Dotcomcomics, usually within a week or two of when this unboxing video goes up. But I enjoy doing these unboxing videos from time to time just because it's so much fun to crack into a box. I've got no idea what has been sorted into this box. You can probably get a little bit of a clue by going to the Sell My Comic Books channel on eBay. That's where my boss, Sean, unpacks the collections that are purchased from all over the country, all over the world. Once they're shipped to our warehouse in Freeport, Maine, he opens up those boxes and then sorts them into different sales channels. As I said, the ones that end up going to eBay as singles, those end up here on my desk for grading. And but I have no idea what's in any particular box that he's given me. So, I mean, we know that it's going to be roughly something that's expected to sell for between $10 and $100. So, you're not going to see any Batman #1s, or at least not the original Batman #1, but you're also not going to see any junk in here that would go into a multi-book lot or a dollar box. So I said right off at the start that I thought this might be some older stuff just based on the look and condition of the bags. This first one, I might actually pull this out and put it in a lot myself because you can see here, that's some heavy damage. Now, I don't know that if a Transformers #1 that's probably only a 4.0 at best. I don't think that's going to do that well. So, and that happens from time to time. Sean will do the initial sort, and I'll get the books that are, initially intended for sale on eBay as singles. But I may say, no, that one should really go as a lot. Or, hey, that one, that's a good book that should go to CGC. So I'm sort of like the backstop in that regard. Thor 411 and 412, so that's the first appearance of the New Warriors. They haven't been anything for, what, 15, 20 years? So I'm surprised that this book still holds its value. I mean, not only are the New Warriors not a thing, none of these characters, Namorita, Firestar, Speedball, Marvel Boy, Night Thrasher, Kid Nova, none of them are really characters that are much used in the Marvel Universe today. So I'm sort of surprised that this book has held its value. But Thor 411, 412, still worth selling as a single. Wolverine #1. This is kind of a hard book to get in high grade, or at least in the 9-ish range. It's pretty notorious. I'll open it up here and show you. Pretty notorious for having fingerprints and junk on this big black area on the back. So getting one that's in really high grade is tough, and that's really only selling as a single if it's in really high grade, like an 8 or more. That's a $10 or $15 book all day long. What If Jane Foster had found the Hammer of Thor? That was a book you couldn't give away for decades. But now that what's her name there, little sprightly pixie actress, what's her name? I can't think of it. But now that she's going to be Thunderella, that's taking off. In part also because the Jason Aaron run on Thor, had Jane Foster. No, Jane Foster's the character. What's the actress's name? God, she's a screaming SJW. Why can't I think of her name? Let's just call her Bree for now. Jason Aaron brought back Jane Foster and had her be Thor, or as I like to call her, Thunderella, for a while. And that was actually a good run. A lot of people give it a hard time, but I don't think most of those people actually read it. I thought it was a good run. But that's when this book really took off. And then now with the movie coming, that's going to be a big, big book. Savage She-Hulk #1, which, let's be honest, this was basically just a trademark capture. She-Hulk, seeing Power Girl come along to its Power Man and having its Wonder Man, as a counterpoint to Wonder Woman. Marvel was a little afraid that, DC would come up with some kind of female version of the Hulk, so did it on its own. Now that we have a She-Hulk Disney Plus show coming, this book is taking off even, a little more than it was already. And it's really kind of the last great thing that Stan Lee did, and great in terms of longevity. This particular book, I read it as a kid, and I was like, man, that was my last issue of She-Hulk. Here is the very famous Uncanny X-Men #142, the second part of the Days of Future Past storyline. That's a great, great story to get. If you've seen the Days of Future Past movies, and they've done what, a couple of them now, they basically suck. You got to read the original story. This is also notable, as this is where the title actually changes officially to the Uncanny X-Men. It had been the Uncanny X-Men on the cover for a while, but that's the issue where, in the indicia, the publishing information, it actually changes officially. Amazing Spider-Man 256. These bags are stuck together. I don't know what's special about that off the top of my head, unless it's the first Puma. This is the first Silver Sable. These books do better, or at least nominally so, with the newsstand edition. It's at this point where the direct sales editions are really starting to overtake the newsstand editions, and really the only difference is a different pricing box here, and it's got a UPC symbol down at the bottom. But the direct sales version started to have a higher circulation than a newsstand version. And so newsstand versions, basically from this point on, they tend to be like a little bit of a multiplier effect, because they are comparatively more rare, rarer, more rare. You know what I'm saying. This is Amazing Spider-Man 316. I believe that's the first Venom cover, and his third appearance overall, if memory serves. Amazing Spider-Man, and it's turning out that this box isn't quite as old as I hoped it was going to be. It's just in some crappy bags. 301, it's McFarlane, that does well. $2.99. McFarlane, that does well. Uncanny X-Men 221, that is the first appearance of Mr. Sinister. And I don't know why this book continues to hold its value. You know, the co-owner of my company, Sean, he actually started out flipping copies of this book. And I'm not telling tales out of school or anything. This is public information that he's discussed on those videos I mentioned on the Sell My Comic Books channel. But he started out sniping these books, getting this particular issue at a low price, and then sending it to CGC and flipping it, and then reinvesting the profit that he made, and that's basically how he built the company. So I applaud him for that. I would never in a million years be able to do that. I buy a book on eBay, and I tend to end up paying more than it's worth. And when I try and sell a book on eBay, I always get less than it's worth. I don't know why, but you know, some people got it and some don't, I guess. There's the first half of the Days of Future Past story with the classic cover, often imitated. I think that's the first Archangel, where Angel got his metal wings. That's X Factor 24. X Factor 6 is, I believe, the first full appearance of Apocalypse. Amazing Spider-Man 361, I think that's the first appearance of Carnage. Daredevil 254, first appearance of Typhoid Mary. Here's a Batman Killing Joke. And I believe the green logo will indicate to us it's a first print. You want to take a look? Let's take a look. This is one of those books that, like, the later prints do better. It's kind of like the opposite of book collecting, where you always want a first print. I don't want to open this too much and crack the spine, but yes, this is a first printing. There are certain issues where, you know, second and third prints do better because there are fewer of them. Incredible Hulk, that's a classic cover and sells well because of the cover. I don't think it's that great a cover myself. This isn't anything I would hang on my wall. How about you? And the other thing is, it's just that pose doesn't, his hand wouldn't bend that way. It's just, it more bugs me than anything else. All right, let's see what else we have here in this box. And again, I thought it was going to be all old stuff, but it appears to be more modern. Incredible Hulk 377, that looks to be the first print, and that is the first appearance of the Professor Hulk version, basically the intelligent version of the Hulk. And that's like the version that appeared in the Avengers Endgame movie. There was a lot of speculation that this book was going to take off. It really didn't. Not to any great degree or as much as people expected, and I presume that's because, you know, he wasn't actually called Professor Hulk in the movie. Marvel Superhero Secret Wars #1. #7, and some people claim that this is taking off because it's the first appearance of that version of Spider-Woman. I haven't really seen that reflected in our sales myself, but I noticed that more often Sean is sorting that out to be sold as a single. Marvel Superhero Secret Wars #8, of course, not the first appearance of the black suit. You will often see it listed that way, and what it really means is first chronological appearance. This story, where he gets the costume, is set before its actual first appearance in Amazing Spider-Man 252. Sensational She-Hulk, John Byrne, #1. This is a series I did not get at the time, but I always, I think this is something that I want to go back and try and collect. It shouldn't be that expensive to put together the run. The first issue does decent, and there's a couple of cheesecake cover issues that do okay. But this really isn't that expensive of a run to put together, and I kind of want to go back myself and put together that run for my own collection. There's Silver Surfer with some Thanos action. Thanos books are starting to cool off a little bit. But these books of Silver Surfer, which again you couldn't give away for years, then suddenly took off with the movies. But now we're getting into some older stuff. Batman Annual number 1. I believe it's number 1. And this is Batman Annual number 3. These, of course, are all, giant reprint issues. But, getting one of these can often be a good way to read some of these stories that you couldn't otherwise afford. Even today, for as high as these giants will go for on eBay, it's a lot cheaper than trying to pick up these original issues. If you are indeed interested in reading the comic books, which I know among comic book collectors that's kind of a passé, who actually reads the damn things anymore? But somebody who wants to buy them for their collection to actually read them, these are a good value. Even for, again, as much as they will go for. Batman Annual 6, Batman Annual 7. I would be kind of tempted to, what have you got, 2 in there? Maybe it's 2 of the same one or 2 different ones. It is 1, 2, 3 of them. Holy crap. I would be, this one belonged to Ricky Smith. That was Ricky Smith's comic. Now, tell the truth. Do you write your name on your comic books? I never did mine, but, I did for a while. There's probably, at one point I got an embosser. It's still around here somewhere. But, an embosser with my name and initials. And is probably in my collection, probably I don't know, a dozen or so books that I actually embossed. And then I was like, nah, I probably shouldn't do that. I would be sorely tempted, though, to try and sell all of these annuals as one big lot. I bet that would be like a really eye-opening price those would get. Although probably as singles it would be more collectively. Like, what is better, selling, a 5-issue lot for $100 or each issue for $25, well, obviously selling them as singles. This is actually 80-page giant, so you have to be a little careful as a back issue collector because, especially when you're buying books, over the internet or by mail or whatever, somebody will tell you, I've got Batman number 5, and what they actually have is 80-page giant number 5. So, and I think that's probably 2 of the same thing in this bag. Let's see. God, that's an ugly bag. That bag's about 1 million years old. It's about as old as the book. Yeah, it is. It's 2 of that issue. And here we have, wow, a couple more of that number 5 of 80-page giant. And you can tell, if you're ever in doubt, you can always tell by the indicia. Look down below there, and you can see, whoops, where it says 80-page giant magazine. Hopefully you can see that okay. So here's 80-page giant number 12, a couple of those as well. Obviously, we won't list those all at the same time. They'll be kind of spread out over several days. Here is the Flash number 122, still a 10 center. And I think that is that the first top, maybe? Some Detective Comics. This one's in pretty low grade. I'm probably going to end up pulling that one out because I don't think a 15-cent Detective Comics that is this beat up, even with the enemy ace in it. See, and it's actually got the whole corner missing. I don't think that's going to be worth selling as a single. And actually, it feels thin. It could be missing pages. $3.92, and this was the era when this is another low grade one. I will probably pair a couple of these, 3 or 4 or 5 of these lower grade detectives together. But this is the era when Batgirl was really kind of playing well in the reruns of the Adam West Batman TV show, and so they paired up Batgirl with Batman in Detective Comics. I say paired up, but she had her own backup series. There's a little older issue there of Detective Comics. I can't really see the number. $3.75. Here's 401. This is 357, 355, 356. This is notable. That's actually Alfred. Just like they did recently, they killed off Alfred back then, and readers kind of had a hissy. And so they brought Alfred back as this guy, the outsider, until eventually regaining his true form, his true self. Spellbinder, 358, 360. Here's some Batgirl action. Oh no, he's going to reveal his secret ID. Oh my goodness. 364. Go-Go checks. Actually, I had Go-Go checks there too. I forgot to be excited. 366. 367. 374. 393. Some more old detectives, 397, 395. So this box had some old stuff in it, but it is all basically mainstream superhero stuff. 396, 398, 399, and now we back up to 353. A little Flash co-starring action, 354. And now we're back to the Flash. And again, a low grade. Looks like the cover's detached. Lots of pieces coming off. Look at all the pieces that have collected down in the bottom of the bag. We'll probably end up selling that, pairing it with some other low-grade books. 172. 143. More tornado action. 142, the Trickster. Not the Trick, yeah, the Trickster. 141. Oh no! The hell's going on here? They didn't get his whole head, so I don't think whoever did this cut out his head on purpose. Must be something on this inside ad that they cut out. Let's take a look. Yep, they cut out a coupon. Those little fuckers. Oh well, what are you gonna do? That's going into a lot. And let's see, 129. That was a little rough at the top as well, but it's an early enough issue that even at low grade, it might do well as a single. 140. Captain Cold and Heatwave. Is that the first team up of those two? Don't know. 166. There's a later team up. This is a very famous cover, Breaking the Fourth Wall. And some more. Can't make out. 158, 159. See all kind of the purple? There was a theory at DC for a long while that purple covers sold better than any other color. They used to, at DC, Leibowitz used to keep like a chart with the covers of all the books with the sales stats. I don't know if that's something DC still has on hand, if it's something it retained in its move out west. It'd be really cool if they would give up that information. But anyway, they determined from those charts, you know, with the covers and the sales figures, that purple covers sold better. And Gorillas sold well. That's why you saw a lot of Gorillas there for a while on DC covers. So, and here's Flash. He's quitting. Everybody quits eventually, for a short time anyway. Oh, I just noticed that light is glaring off those bags. I'm sorry if that's been an annoyance for you. And some more Go-Go checks. Let's get those right out of the way. $161, $162, 152, some more Trickster. Dig those pants. 32, 49. $154. That font looks weird, and I wonder, is this the first one where they appended that Fastest Man Alive to the cover logo? I don't know. 140, 136, Mirror Master, 134. And now, is that the first Elongated Man cover? I'll have to look it up. I don't think it is. A little bit later, in the 15-cent era, Flash doesn't look very well proportioned there. Oh, let's see. He's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, 8. He's 8 heads tall, so I guess he's right. But it just, I don't know. Something, the head looks too large for the body to me. Flash. Flash was always just more interesting than Green Lantern, and I think that's because he had the more interesting civilian career, or at least the one that was more useful to plots, and he had the better rogues gallery. Is this the one that, yeah, is this Mopey? It might be. The infamous issue where they decided that a little fifth-dimensional imp was actually responsible for the lightning that gave him his powers? Maybe not. 176, 173. That's kind of a good cover. But again, a low grade. I'll probably pair it with some other stuff. Although it is issue 200. But no, it's missing like 3 different chunks out of the cover. So, and I think this next one might be our last stack out of this box. Let's get this out of the way. 221, 150. Boy, this run here in this box is kind of back and forth, isn't it? High number, low number. So do you have any thoughts on the Flash during the Silver and Bronze Age? Were you reading comics then? What did you think of the Flash? Here's the Shade. Kind of, you know, you often hear about an anti-hero. The Shade is kind of an anti-villain. And the other thing about the Flash, too, that made it more interesting than Green Lantern, is it had better covers. And it always did these kind of like goofy things on the cover that I have to imagine to a kid that it was a lot more appealing. You know, there was a lot more of a gosh wow factor that made you want to pick up that cover and figure out what was actually going on in that book. Whereas the covers to Green Lantern tended to be, you know, a lot more bland, a lot less interesting. 199, and then boom, right back to 145. 202. The Marriage issue. And this is actually an issue of 80-page Giant. It is not Flash 4 or Flash Annual 4 or anything like that. It is 80-page Giant number 4. Here's 80-page Giant number 9, and we got a couple of them. Ooh, and here is 80-page Giant number 7. Sergeant Rock collection. See, now here's the difference. After about 15 issues, the 80-page Giant reverted to using that format in regular issues of the ongoing titles. So this is not 80-page Giant 160, it's actually Flash 160. And, you know, they kind of look the same, right? You might think those are the same series, but they're not. That's 80-page Giant number 9, that is Flash 169. So that is it. That is that box. More Drew approves. I hope you approved of this video and had fun. Any thoughts, any comments, please do so down below. Like, share, subscribe, do all the groovy things. And until the next video, goodbye, good luck, and please be good to each other.